game.
Yeah, they got a great roster. I think the big question also, man, and I'm glad that Brad invested in it, is that front. Is that really the front? What you got in front of Goff? I mean, the offensive line protecting him, which I think it brings up a good discussion because you drafted 2 guards that are pretty high level guards when it comes to the draft. Miles Frazier, he's a 6th round pick, 5th round pick, but still, he should have went way higher. You know, he played in the SEC, started very good pass blocker. They got Tate Ratledge in the 2nd round, and you're adding him to a group with Mahogany, with Graham. There's gonna be a lot of competition. You need that front, man. You need those guys to stay up and protect Goff because he's not mobile. So therefore, he needs protection. You know, it's just the reality. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. If you want mobile quarterbacks, hey, I get it. I understand it. But the reality is,
parts of the trenches at the end of the day.
And now I'll ask you guys just early prediction. How do you think this offensive line looks week 1? Who's starting, and how do you think it ends? Do you think they start with what they end with, or do you think there'll be changes? How do you think this offensive line looks? Who do you think starts in that front 5?
I think I have a different one. Maybe we have the same one. I think I might have a little different than what people think.
All right, what's your front 5, Boone? Who's protecting?
All right, this is a big one right here, boys. Starting at center,
Miles Frazier.
Give me Frank Ragnow. Give me Frank Ragnow at center. Then obviously right tackle Panay, left tackle Taylor Decker. This is where things go crazy here, boys.
Hey, it's not your time yet, Gio. Stay patient.
At right guard, Tate Ratledge.
Oh, okay. Played right guard in college.
Yep. Right guard. He played right guard his whole career. At left guard, out of Boston College. Give me the dirt bag. Give me Christian Mahogany. I think Christian Mahogany ends up winning the spot. I know there is this sense of people like, well, we haven't got to fully see all of Christian Mahogany. I have this feeling, and we've seen what he can do. He's going to win that job in camp. And I think Graham, and I love Graham, dude. He's like what you want out of a Detroit Lion, right? Like, he's just been so good. But this last year, he was just you took too far of a step back. And I just don't see a world, boys, where they invest in last year, bring in a tackle and Christian Mahogany, and then next year it turns into a Miles Frazier and Tate Ratledge, and they don't have that thought process of, hey, we're moving on from Graham. I know we just signed him to a deal last year. What we saw out of him in left guard last year was unacceptable. Like, you're not winning a Super Bowl. Like Klotz, we had the little argument about D-line winning the Super Bowl, and you need guys to step up. You will not win a Super Bowl offensively if you have Graham or any offensive lineman playing the way Graham did last year. You won't. Mm-hmm. That offensive line is too vulnerable for that to happen when that does happen. So I think it's Mahogany at the left. I think it's Tate at the right. And then I think you have the other 3 guys the same. And I think it ends up by the end of the year, it's the best offensive line in the NFL.
Well, Klotzy,
I'm interested, Hefe. I'll say mine.
All right.
At center, Frank Ragnow.
Yep.
At right tackle, Panay Sewell.
Right.
At left tackle, Taylor Decker.
Yep.
Yeah, not a chance. Giovanni Manu is not coming off the board.
What if he did?
Giovanni Manu is buried beneath the depth chart here, okay? At left guard,
here we go. This is it.
Ratledge, guard out of Georgia. He's at left
guard.
Left. Why left?
At right guard, Graham Glasgow. They're going to move. This is my thinking, boys, okay? Graham was at left last year. Struggled. They're calling him to move to the right side. And I think Graham, being a veteran, been through camp a lot of times, he's going to have a strong camp. And when they move him to right, he's going to perform well. I think you have Christian Mahogany and Tate Ratledge. That's going to be the battle at the left guard spot for camp. But when I just look at, okay, Tate Ratledge, 2nd-round pick out of Georgia, has been a very good offensive lineman in the SEC for a very long time, going up against that Georgia defensive line for a very long time, Jalen Carter, all those boys. I think there's a serious argument to be made that as a prospect coming out of the draft day 1, he's on the level of Christian Mahogany, who was a 6th-round pick, should have been higher, but coming out of Boston College because he looked great against the Bears. But again, you're asking this out of 17-game season. To see him, Tate Ratledge, and Christian Mahogany battle over camp, I think Tate Ratledge is going to win that job. Graham's going to look good week 1 at right guard. But at the end of the season, Christian Mahogany will take that right guard spot. I think Tate Ratledge is very good enough where he can play right next to Taylor Decker and hold it down. At the end of the day, you traded up in the second round to get a guy like that. I think that's why you make that move. So you can get somebody on that left side where after Taylor Decker's gone, you have somebody that's not at the tackle spot, but at the guard spot to hold it down. So you have Christian Mahogany going to be with Penei Sewell on that right side going forward. And you find that left tackle eventually with Taylor Decker, but on that left side going forward, you got Tate Ratledge. Miles Frazier will be behind him, but I think at some point during the season, probably early on too, if Glasgow struggles, they don't hesitate to move Mahogany out there. I agree with you, Boone. Like, I want that to be the starting line, the one that you had, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I just don't think, Klotz, and if I'm just being completely honest with you, I can't see a world where a rookie like Tate Ratledge, as good as he is, he plays right his whole career, and then they're just like, hey, we're going to switch you. Like, I feel like, yes, you can make the switch. We've seen Graham do it, but a rookie in his first year in the NFL just kind of going off position, being like, hey, you got to learn this all on the go. Like, it is a little different. I guess maybe guard, it's not as hard, but it's just like, to me, it's, hey, this guy is a pure right guard. Like, he has played right guard his whole career. He doesn't know anything but right guard. It's like, why would you draft him and be like, hey, we need to switch you right away? I think it's like, hey, put him where he's comfortable in between a rookie. Put a rookie that's played right guard that you took in the second round. Yeah, second round. Throw him right in there between Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell. He's going to be one of the best right guards in the NFL in the next 2 years, instantly, in my opinion. And I think you just let Christian Mahogany and Graham battle it out for left and just, hey, best man wins. And if Graham can't figure out that left side, guess what? I bet you Christian Mahogany would be 100 times better than him at left than he was last year. I just don't see a world, if this is me being honest, I think there's a 10% chance that they would move Tate to left. I think they're, especially in between Penei and Frank, being able, hey, rookie, slot him right where his natural position is.
Yeah, because
it's not a bad take.
And Graham's he's the interesting one because he plays better at right guard, but they had Kevin Zeitler here, so he was playing right guard, so he played left guard and he struggled. So I would still, my offensive line's the same as Boone's. I would still have they'll probably put Mahogany play left guard last year, played really well, and Ratledge. Brad, I think, talked about that too, how they tend to throw a lot at guys early and it's just too much for him. I think they'll want him to be comfortable probably early on.
Because look.
No, go on.
Sorry. I would just say, look what happened with Graham. Like, he's better at the right side. They move him to the left. He's bad. And now everyone's saying how bad he is. You're going to say a first-year guy who you want to get confidence in. You want to build that confidence. You're going to do what you did to Graham last year to him. Like, I just don't see that.
I think they're different players, though. Like, if Tate Ratledge is athletic and he's both, like, where he can get up to that second level easily, Graham's not that type of guy. And I think – and I'm sorry if you guys –
there's this natural position.
If anybody disagrees with – and I agree with you, natural position. But Tate Ratledge is the best guard, in my opinion, that they have in the room right now. And if you move up to get a guy like that, I think it's because he's good enough where he doesn't have to play left guard. But I do think that they try Graham out at right guard. They try to get the best out of they can while they do. And you're not just going to sit Tate Ratledge behind them. You're going to put your best 11 on the field and at least see if he can do it. Because at the end of the day, like the Lions, they love versatile players. They're not drafting a guy who can just play right guard in the second round and trading up 3 spots for him. Like, if you're that special,
we got to agree to disagree on this one. I don't see this happening at all.
Because it's very early to see what goes on. But, again, I can easily see that situation happening. Where in camp, Graham Glasgow just holding down that right guard spot.
Don't do it, Jeff. Give your. Let's hear. You were talking. Let's keep hearing your opinion. I see the comments that Jeff is out here trying to throw out there. Giovanni Manu starting these narratives. Sit down right now. I don't want to hear.
Hey, Raw Biz. I didn't pay him.
I don't want to hear any of it.
He said y'all sleeping on Manu. The story's coming out at the end of last season where it was his development. He's way ahead of where they thought he'd be.
Left tackle. Hey, they need someone to replace Taylor Decker in a year. There we go.
Malik says Mahogany also played more NFL snaps at left guard than Ratledge. No way they just put him there expecting him to do what Mahogany did. Not too much behind the scenes. Not with what Mahogany did with not much behind the scenes coaching.
Yeah, I think it's more so like, hey, like let that left guard battle happen. And right guard's already taken, and it's Tate Ratledge. We drafted a second round guy who has played that position his whole career. And let him play his natural position and let him be great at that position. Right?
They
like,
probably
why switch it up?
Think about it too, man. Like they drafted 2 guards, one of them more versatile, Miles Frazier. But Miles Frazier can play multiple spots. Played mainly right guard. Maybe let him snap
Play
the
left
ball.
tackle at FIU.
Let him snap.
Not saying he'll play tackle, but
you never know. Let him snap the ball a little bit. Maybe be back up there. It's good to have. I think Graham is ultimately sixth man this year. I do.
Yeah, when it's all said and done.
Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.